Next we have Dragon Ball Kai Majin Buu-hen. This new Dragon Ball Kai anime series will cover the Majin Buu saga. It's the digital high definition remastering and re-recorded soundtrack and select scenes updated with new effects or reanimated footage stuff for Dragon Ball Z. But no one cares because it's the fucking Majin Buu arc, which no one likes. I'm just kidding. There are some people that like this arc, but I'm gonna give you a little Dragon Ball Z history, really fast Dragon Ball Z history, because I gotta move on. That in case some of you don't know. Even if you like the Majin Buu arc, you may have noticed it's kind of fucking weird compared to the previous arcs in the story, and that's because Akira Toriyama, I can't even pronounce his name, and it's one of the easiest names to pronounce. Akira Toriyama fully intended for the manga to end at the Cell arc, and you can actually tell because at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, from not like Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Z, where that started, you know, with Gohan being taken by Raditz, the story started there with Gohan's unnatural power hidden inside of him. And the Cell Saga ended with him unleashing and being able to control that hidden power. So you can see how there was kind of like this connecting arc up until the end that Akira Toriyama was kind of striving for. You know, even then it wasn't called Super Saiyan 2 when Gohan achieved it. It was just like this ultimate form that he had because of this power inside of him. It wasn't until the Majin Buu arc that they actually call it, you know, Super Saiyan 2, and then Super Saiyan 3, and then Super Saiyan 4. I don't even think Super Saiyan 4 was until GT, actually. But they just went redonkulous, in the Majin Buu arc because he wanted to end it at the Cell Saga, but the publisher wouldn't let him stop, I believe. So basically giving a giant middle finger to the publishers, he just wrote about random bullshit to continue the story, like they wanted him to, which is why you got shit like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo going on. In case you didn't notice those villain names in the arc. And you know, you got a giant pink bubblegum turning people into chocolate. A lot less threatening than the usual deal. And then you have shit like, you know, Super Saiyan 3 and the hair is ridiculously long. It's just the arc where you can tell it stops taking itself as seriously. Like there's some silly elements in it. And that's fully intended because Akira Toriyama was like, he didn't want to destroy the series, but he wanted to like send it in weird directions so that people would stop reading it so he could stop doing it, or at least send the message to his publisher to stop. And he did get to stop after the Majin Buu arc. I don't know if his publishers conceded or if the readership just went down, but he got to stop, and then Dragon Ball GT events were anime original. But basically, that's my point. The Dragon Ball Z should have ended at the Cell Saga. I own the Dragon Ball Z Kai, you know, high definition remasterings up to the Cell Saga now, and I'm not getting the Majin Buu arc because on the one hand, I want to support Akira Toriyama and how he intended the story to be. If the publishers hadn't been adamant about him continuing, the Majin Buu arc wouldn't even exist because that would be his intent. And also because I just think Majin Buu arc is shitty writing, which was kind of the point, because that's what Akira Toriyama was going for. So yeah, that Majin Buu arc, and I'm gonna move on because I keep wasting too much time. I said it was gonna be a quick story, and I went on for like days because I'm stupid. Next we have Meshimase, Lodoss-tou, Senki, Sorette, Oishii, no. That's how it's pronounced. A comedy version of Lodoss-tou Senki, Record of Lodoss War. That sounds familiar. It sounds like a video game. I'm probably not going to watch it because that's the only thing the synopsis is giving me. Once I know what Record of Lodoss War is and I probably watch it a bit maybe, then I'll give this a shot. Otherwise, I don't care. Sorry. Moving on, we have Isshuukan Friends. And I really wish I knew the English name of this because it's... Hang on, I'm going to look this up right now. Give me a second. Which will actually really be a second for you guys because the magical powers of editing. The English title... Please, chart makers, please, is 1 Week Friends. I feel like the synopsis that I'm about to read is probably going to make more sense knowing that the title translates to 1 Week Friends. High schooler Yuki Haze notices that his classmate Kaori Fujimiya is always alone and seemingly has no friends. After approaching her, Kaori reveals that she loses every memory of her friends each Monday. Despite learning this, Yuki endeavors to become her new friend every week. It kind of gives you that... You guys ever watch 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler? God damn it. It's kind of that vibe, except for, you know, that was a comedy. It was, you know, kind of heartwarming a bit, especially towards the end with what it was going for. But for the most part, it was just kind of a silly comedy. This seems like it'll take itself a lot more seriously based, especially on the promo art. There may be jokes and such in it still, but, you know, the whole idea of, you know, he wants to be her friend every week to help her out, and maybe he actually really does enjoy her presence as a person, and still it's a lot of trouble to be friends all over again every week. It's another one of those struggles. It's not like, you know, letting go, like I mentioned before, that theme that I really, really like, but this is a similar kind of theme that I really, really like, and I'm trying to figure out how I can describe both letting go and something like this in like a connecting thread kind of way to explain why I like these. It's deeply personal issues that tie to other people, I guess. It's like deeply personal. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. If I had the time to think about it, I probably could, but I need to get through all this. I'm sorry. You're probably screaming for joy, and I shouldn't be sorry. You should probably be thanking me that I'm not going to waste all your time right now thinking of it. But it's really interesting. This seems like a really, it doesn't seem like it. It is an interesting struggle for both characters to go through, one unknowingly and one knowingly. And I'm curious to see how it turns out. It's probably gonna end in your typical romance kind of thing, but I wanna know how it goes. So I'm really excited for this, and it seems like the perfect show for a studio like Brainspace, which I haven't really watched Brainspace a lot lately, but back when I was watching their stuff, they were popular for doing more. Their pacing is a lot more slow, and a show like this would fit slow pacing really, really well. So I feel like Brainspace is a great choice for this show. So I really hope it's good. I'm gonna watch it, and I hope it's gonna be great. So I'm gonna move on now because I gotta keep this going. Kanojo ga flag Oraretara. That was horribly stupid, and I said it anyways. I don't care. Hatate Sota is a high school boy who has an ability to visualize flags for future events such as death flag, friendship flag, and romance flag. Despite the flag viewing ability, he avoids making friends with others due to a trauma he experienced in a ship submergent accident. 4 beautiful girls get interested in his strange way of living, and they begin to live with him at the school dorm by force. So it's obviously a comedy. He can see the different flags on them and different stuff's gonna happen. It could actually end up being stupid for all I know. Maybe it's actually gonna take itself seriously and then it'll be dumb. Who knows? I'm gonna give it is it gonna be another single episode run? Because with shows like comedies, you really only gotta give them 1 episode to see if the style of jokes are for you. So I'm gonna get a single episode to see how I like the jokes. I'm just, like I said, I'm assuming it's a comedy. It seems like it's a comedy based on that synopsis, but maybe it's serious and something I'll actually like. I don't know. I only have a promo picture and a synopsis to go off of because I don't do any research because I'm a lazy shit. A lazy shit that's working on many, many videos at once. Kind of contradictory. Whatever. So I'm gonna give it a go. I hope I like the comedy, assuming it's comedy. So moving on, we have Hero Bank. The story centers around Kaito, an elementary school boy who is suddenly burdened with 10 billion yen, about $100 million in debt one day. The only way he can repay off the debt is to master Hero-gi, downloaded off the net, and win matches in Hero Battle, a new generation cybersport. Until it got to the whole cybersport shit, this actually sounded a hell of a lot like Hayate the Combat Butler. So that was kind of weird. And he has the same color hair as Hayate, so that was also weird. Whatever. It's based on, I was originally going to give it a go because I'm like, that seems pretty interesting. It could go in pretty interesting directions. And then I noticed it was based off of a game. So it was probably really not a whole lot of depth to it other than keep playing game, keep killing things, and win. So it probably wouldn't make a great show. Again, Japan being famous with its shitty video game adaptations. So I'm going to skip on this one because I'm already watching one. I can only deal with one at a time, man. So if you think this is gonna be good, maybe the game adaptation thing won't tie it down or something, then you can give it a go. Otherwise, God save your soul. No. Otherwise, good luck to you. I hope it's good. I hope every show ever made is good because that'd be great. But I don't know. Whatever. I gotta move on. I'm taking way too much time with this. This is stupid. And I'm gonna move on. We have Mangaka-san to Assistant-san to. Did you really need to keep that in Japanese? I'm assuming it just translates to something like the manager and his assistant. The anime tells the story of professional manga artist Yuki Ito and his personal relationship with his assistants. Actually, apparently what it is actually based on, from what people have said, is that it's essentially a manga author who keeps essentially sexually harassing his coworkers because he wants to see their, like, panties and shit. Because if you notice, the mangaka is male and then all his assistants are female. So, despite my better judgment on this style of very obvious signs of what this kind of comedy in the biggest quotation marks I can make is going to be, I'm going to give it a single episode to see if it sucks, which I have very few doubts that it will. But I like to give comedies the one episode shot because you never know when a comedy will hit your funny bone when you won't expect it. Who knows? I don't know. I'm gonna move on because I have so many shows to cover. But yeah, the mangaka author, like, assaults, sexually harasses his assistants. It's probably gonna be shit. I don't know why I'm giving it a shot. I'm a masochist. Moving on, we have Dragon Collection. Plot summary not available yet. But that's okay, because it's based on a card game. And you know what? The next promo art is also based on a card game. And it also looks like one of them is totally stealing from the other? Like, if you just looked at, like, how much those two look the same? Like, seriously, look. Like, the dragon is kind of more detailed in the Monster Retsuden one. Like, the character art in general is. But the general designs look exactly the same. The main character, the fucking dragon. Why are they the same? I don't understand. They're stealing from each other or something. I don't know. Someone's gonna go to a court over this shit. So I'm just gonna skip both those card games because I don't care. Moving on, we have Mahou Shoujo Taisen. Mahou Shoujo Taisen is a project created from a variety show for the Otaku 2.5 Chicken TV 2.5 Dimension TV. The characters are the Mahou Shoujo magical girls. Why am I reading that? That represents each local girl and local town in Japan. The characters that won from the second illustration competitions that were held on Pixiv will appear in the anime. That's kind of cool that there was a Pixiv competition. I almost want to watch it because there's a Pixiv competition thing that's going on with it, but it's based on a variety show, which I think I just read. I don't know. It's very confusing, actually. Something about it being based on a TV show, and then, which is a variety show, and then character illustrations or something. Maybe it's just general illustrations from Pixiv are gonna be in it or something. I don't know at all, man. I'm confused, and my voice is getting, like, weirder sounding as I go on. Like, it's getting not necessarily more high-pitched, but just, like, strained. Like, I feel like I'm gonna lose my voice after all this. So I'm just gonna move on because I don't even have anything to say about this. I'm probably not gonna give it a shot. I don't care. Like, it's not that I'm getting disdain for the show after reading it. I feel literally nothing. And so I'm probably not gonna care. So I'm not gonna give it a shot. So moving on, we have Soul Eater Not, which is a collaboration work between Square Enix and Bones. I don't know why that is the advertisement. Anyways, I should read the synopsis because as far as I'm aware of, Soul Eater Not is decently not based off Soul Eater. But I'm going to skip it in the effort of saving time because I'm sure the only people who are really interested in this for the most part anyways are people who have seen Soul Eater. Because it's the same style or world or something? I don't know, there's something in common with Soul Eater. It's the same author, but something more than that, I think. I don't know what it is, because I haven't actually watched Soul Eater, so I don't really know about Soul Eater Not either. I don't know. I watched like one episode of Soul Eater forever ago, and then I never got around to watching more. My bad. So I'm not going to give this a go, because I don't care enough. Next, we have Black Bullet, which has a very long synopsis that I wish I could skim, but I'm probably just going to go through it anyways. In the year 2021, mankind was defeated by Gastria, a parasitical virus, and is forced to live within a wall made of boranium monoliths, a metal that is able to subdue Gastria. Soon, the cursed children, female children born infected with the Gastria virus, who are able to control them, which gives them superhuman abilities, was discovered. Civil securities are formed to specialize fighting against Gastria, operating with the pair of an initiator who are cursed children and a promoter serving to lead the cursed children. 10 years after the war, Rentaro Satomi, a high school student who is also a promoter in his childhood friend. And his childhood friend, Kisara Tendo Civil Security. I should have finished the sentence. Security, along with his initiator, Enjo Aihara, receives a secret mission to prevent the Tokyo area's destruction. So it sounds kind of like weird and interesting based on that promo, but as far as I'm aware of, there's like weird shit going on with this story. Like apparently it's some weird 2chan story or something that gets added on to daily. I don't know. It's some weird backstory about it being some retarded self-insert stuff. I'm gonna give it 3 episodes. Because, I don't know, regardless of, like, the sketchy backstory behind it being some stupid thing, self-insert, I don't know. I heard about being some stupid crap somewhere. I don't remember where I read it or why it said it was crap, but there was something sketchy about the story itself and how it was created, so the story is probably gonna have really shitty execution and such if it's true. But I can give it 3 episodes to see if that's the case. I just like the promo art because it looks nice. Promo art actually kind of reminds me of Guilty Crown's art, which was like the only thing good about Guilty Crown. So hey, can't really blame it for that. Moving on, we have No Game, No Life. The story centers around Sora and Shiro, a brother and sister whose reputations as brilliant and neat hikikomori gamers have spawned urban legends all over the internet. These 2 gamers even consider the real world as just another crappy game. One day, they are summoned by a boy named God to an alternate world. Their God has prohibited war and declared this to be a world where everything is decided by games, even national borders. Humanity has been driven back into one remaining city and by the other races. Will Sora and Shiro, the good-for-nothing brother and sister, become the saviors of humanity on this alternate world? Well, let's start playing. That was a shitty way to end the synopsis. So, I don't know. It's based on a light novel, so as I've already mentioned before, a bit of bias towards light novels. I like to give them a go. It seems like it could be kind of fun. The promo art looks like it's going to take itself way too seriously, but I'll give it a shot. Like, I don't mind watching 3 episodes to see if it sucks or not. I mean, it's what I used to do with all the other shows, all the other seasons where I picked up, like, tons of shows, and then I would drop a good chunk of them, because they would be crap before the end. I would fall behind on them. But, I don't know. I can give No Game, No Life 3 episodes to see if it's interesting or not. I don't know. It seems like it could go in interesting directions depending on how it's taken. Fuck it. Next we have Fuuun Ishin Dai Shogun. In the late Edo period, the period that Japan will not shut up about, apparently, in anime form. Japan faced an unprecedented crisis with the arrival of black ships from overseas. However, Japan drove away the black ships thanks to Onigami, a giant robots that have existed in Japan since the ancient times. The country has remained in self-imposed seclusion from foreigners ever since. The story begins in this Japan that never experienced the Meiji Restoration. Japan is, in anime in general, is way too obsessed with the Edo period and kind of just the general fuck, I don't know. I feel like there was another period they were obsessed with too. Whatever period Nobunaga's in. I think that may also be the Edo period. I don't fucking know. I don't know Japanese history, okay? I've just memorized the periods literally by their names. I know Edo period because it's called Edo period. I don't actually know anything that happened in that period. I don't know Japanese history. I was never taught Japanese history, and I never really took the time to learn it either. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I should just shut up and move on. I don't care, and this promo art reminds me way too much of Nobunaga the Fool. Like, seriously, the way the guy looks, just like how he's drawn, and then the way he's holding the fucking hammer or whatever that is like literally the same pose Nobunaga's in the Nobunaga the Fool promo art where he's standing there and he's holding the fucking sword over his back. Like, it's literally the same. Maybe it's mirrored, but otherwise it's like literally the same pose. And that bothers me for dumb reasons that I'm using as an excuse to not watch the show. No, I just don't care about the time period or any of these people or other stuff. So I don't care. Moving on, we have Hitsugi no Chaika. Toru Akura is a 20-year-old retired soldier meandering through life now that the war has ended. He encounters Chaika Trabant, a 14-year-old sorceress carrying a coffin, and follows her in hopes of finding meaning to his life again. The two travel with Toru's adopted sister Akari, the employed member of the group, and thus Toru's source of income. I am tired enough to the point where I don't even know what I just read. So this is my opinions on shows are going to be very unreliable from here on out. Just a warning. I'm trying to pay attention, but I'm like getting droopy-eyed here. This is why I shouldn't stay up for ridiculously long times. I don't know. The fact that they just talk about how there's a war that has just ended and something about a sorceress carrying a coffin. I just like the setup story-wise. And lo and behold, it's based on a light novel. Go figure that the setting would be interesting. I shouldn't talk like that. Manga make plenty interesting settings. But it's a light novel, and even just a couple words has got my interest, and I'm willing to give it a couple episodes to give it a shot. You know, there are very few shows that I pick up where I actually say, I'm going to watch it from start to finish, no matter what. You know, like this season, I'm going to watch JoJo, Captain Earth. What was that other show I was talking about? The one with the guy having to let go. And maybe the one with the 1 Week Friends. Like, those shows I'm probably going to watch from beginning to end, even if I get kind of bored. But then shows like Hitsugi, where I don't really care too much, and I'm just giving it a shot because the synopsis is like, oh, there was an interesting word or two. Well, story-wise, maybe something cool is going to happen. I don't care if I drop them if I start getting bored. So it's like different camps, in case you were ever wondering why I try and specify a difference between those two groups or something. Whether there's a difference between, I'll give it 3 episodes to see if it's good, or if I just say, I'm going to watch this show. If you're wondering what the difference is, that's the core difference. The shows that I say I'm going to watch for sure, probably going to watch to the end. The shows that I'm going to give a chance to, like, a billion times more likely that they're going to get dropped at the drop of a hat. It's more I'm more likely to have them drop if I'm bored of them, rather than the shows that I say that I'm interested in, I suppose. Anyways, next we have Sidonia no Kishi, which I believe does translate to Knights of Sidonia. Because I remember that one. Because Knights of Sidonia makes more fucking sense than Sidonia no Kishi! I'm sorry, chart makers. I don't understand why you insist on having all these titles in Japanese. I don't get it. Anyways, it's been 1,000 years since the Gaona, a strange... Gaona? That was a fun way to pronounce it. A strange alien race with no known method of communication destroyed the solar system. A portion of humanity managed to escape using enormous siege ships. That's a lewd. Like the Sidonia, allowing them to maintain the population while drifting through space. Nagate Tanakaze is a young man who has been raised deep in the bowels of the ship. When he goes into training to pilot the huge robotic weapons known as Gardes, or Guards, I don't even know, Nagate is entrusted with piloting the legendary unit known as Sugumori. Nagate and his fellow pilots put their lives on the line against the Gaona in the ultimate battle for the survival of humanity. Seems pretty interesting. See, this is a setting that I can get behind, even though it's a manga adaptation rather than a light novel adaptation. But at the same time, it's also another synopsis where it's not interesting enough to get my I'll totally watch it from start to finish deal. I'll give it the 3 episodes. If the synopsis is as interesting as it seems like it could be, it won't have a problem keeping my attention for the entire show. And if not, then down the gutter it goes. That's how it works. Anyways, gotta save more time. Keep going. Next show. Gochuumon wa Usagi desu ka? All I know is Usagi's bunny, so something about bunnies. Fuck yeah. In the story, the main character, Kokoa, I pun of hot cocoa, so I guess it's just pronounced Coco, despite the fact that there's an A, so that makes no fucking sense, arrives at the cafe Rabbit House one day, excited for rabbits. She actually all but lives in that cafe. She meets lots of different girls there, including a tiny and cool girl named Chino. I'm gonna call her Chino. From Cappuccino. I know, that's why I called her Chino. A tough and soldier-esque girl named Lise. Alize? So Lise. Lise, a spacey and quintessentially Japanese girl named Chio Ujimachiti? I don't get the pun there. Ujimachiti. I don't get it! I don't get the pun for that last one. And the ordinary but dignified Sharo, Kilimanjaro. So, Sharo coffee. Fuck, I hit my hand again! Actually, it was my other hand. That's weird. I know one person who's probably gonna watch this. Takes these shows very seriously. They're very serious. Yeah, seems like, you know, that kind of show. Not my kind of thing. You know, enjoy it all you want. It's not my deal. I don't care. Sorry. Enjoy it, but I won't. I do like in the promo art the bunny with the like the queen or the king crown thing. If you can see, it's kind of small. Then again, in the video, it probably looks bigger than even what I'm looking at. So what am I saying? That's pretty fucking cute. The girls, not so much. I know that's a weird thing for me to say right now. They're like, dude, what are you talking about? Maybe it's just because I'm a bit far away from the screen, but they don't look like they have noses. And this bothers me. Like, I don't mind when anime even gets minimalistic to the point where the nose is just like a, you know, a little bit of an elongated dot. Even if it's just like a single, okay, if it's a single dot, it's a little weird. But as long as it's like even a bit bold of a single dot, I'm okay with it. But when I don't even notice a dot when I'm just, you know, kind of glancing at it, I'm like, whoa, what's wrong with your face? Like, you don't have a nose. This is weird. I mean, normally they're anime, so, you know, they're anime characters, so they look kind of weird to begin with, the huge eyes and everything, but at least it kind of works in an animalistic sense. But animals have noses! So, they look like weird Play-Doh people without noses. So, I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. Again, a really roundabout and nonsensical way to say that I don't care for the show, and everyone's just like, dude, Riyoga, what in the living fuck are you even talking about half the time? I don't even know myself when I'm tired like this. I kind of do know what I'm talking about, to be fair, but not really. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm gonna move on. Ryuugajou Nanana no Maizoukin. The story centers around the treasure of Nanana, a ghost who was once a beautiful but not an education, employment, or training girl. A boy named Jugo was disowned by his father and forced to transfer to a high school on the Special Student Zone, an artificial island. With only 40,000 yen, about 500 bucks a month to live on. 500 bucks a month to live on, dude? That's more than I had to live on. Fuck you. Jugo chooses a low rent apartment that happens to be haunted by Nanana. Nanana. Jugo and members of the school's adventure club join a treasure hunt royale on the island for the Nanana collection, a treasure that possesses a mysterious power. I don't care. I was trying to look for something to latch on to me, that entire synopsis, and it seems like they were kind of starting to get something that would interest me, and then they're like, nah. And so then they started boring me again, so I don't care. So I don't care about anything in the synopsis, and I don't care about the show, so I'm probably not going to give it a shot. I don't care. Though what's interesting is it's another show based on a novel. Well, to be fair, the one before said it was based on a book. But there was actually other shows I read that were based on novels, like Black Bullet, but then again, based on the history that I think it has, it's not really a novel. But still, novels, books, those are interesting adaptations because they're not typical. Not that it means they're automatically good or anything, but hey, it's different, I guess, if that means anything. It only means anything if it's actually good, but you know. I don't care. I'm sorry, moving on. We have Ping Pong the animation, which is going to be very divisive because the animation style, while probably not looking exactly like that promo art, is going to be probably similar. Anyways, the story revolves around two longtime friends, Smile and Pico. I should call them Pecco, who are both members of the ping pong club at their high school and are both very talented at the sport. However, Smile's quiet personality keeps him from being able to win against Pico, Boku no Pico. The club's teacher takes notice of Smile's talent and works to change his attitude towards the sport. So this is an adaptation as far as I am aware of. I'm tripping over my own tongue, which means I need to hurry up and finish. I'm almost done. Of a decently old manga. I'm pretty sure Ping Pong is kind of an old manga, especially if it managed to get the name Ping Pong. So the aesthetic they're going for is, you know, an old manga kind of aesthetic, which I can dig. I really did just say that. I can get behind that, but at the same time, I can't get behind it because I'm not that interested. I like playing ping pong, but I don't like watching people play ping pong, if that makes sense. It probably does. It's the same with something like baseball. People like to play baseball, but watching baseball can get pretty fucking boring. To be fair, ping pong's pretty fast-paced at times, but, you know, I don't really care. I'm sorry, ping pong's not that interesting to me. I don't care enough to watch a fucking anime based on it. I'm sorry. Moving on, we have Esha and Logi no Altelier, Tasugare no Sora no Renkinjutsushi. That's exactly how you say it. The world has gone through many dusks and is slowly nearing its end. In order to survive the eventual arrival of the dusk end, the people gathered and devoted their efforts to rediscover and recreate lost alchemic technologies in a city known as Central. One of the heroes is a young man named Logi, I'm gonna say Logi, who researched alchemy in Central. The other is a girl named Esha who lives in a small town on the frontier. Logi meets Esha when he is assigned to the development department. The two make a promise to use their alchemy together and bring success to the development department. That was really fucking boring. I was expecting that synopsis to go somewhere, and it didn't. It was just kind of like, and they lived happily ever after. And I'm like, well, where's the fucking story? Like, the synopsis already told me everything that's gonna happen from beginning to end. Why do I even need to watch this now? I'm sorry, this is, again, something that doesn't really interest me. The art interests me, I like the art, but I don't care to watch. Fuck it, I'll watch an episode. It's based on a game, so it's gonna be stupid. I'm like 90% sure it'll be stupid, but I'll give it an episode to see if it really is stupid. It probably will be. Moving on, we have Date A Live 2! Sequel to Date A Live. I really enjoyed Date A Live, the first season. I made that review on it already. I feel like I liked it more than I normally would have, simply because I had low expectations I had not too high of expectations going into it, and then I had even lower expectations like 5 minutes into the first episode. But by the end, I was like, damn! That was actually pretty good. It handled what it was doing well. It wasn't all that disrespectful, and by not all that disrespectful, I mean it pretty much wasn't disrespectful. It was cool. It had a neat setting, and there was like some fucking like creepy background shit going on, to the point where the little mini preview at the end of the first season for the second season being greenlit, you know, there was like it was like 10-15 seconds or something that just showed various pictures of people. People were theory crafting off that shit based on like Shido's past or whatever. Like, people were piecing together like this story, and I'm like, this is the last show ever I expected people to theory craft on. But it was cool. Any show that gets to the point where you could start theory crafting for it is cool. As far as I'm aware of, the pacing for this episode's probably going to be... Season's probably going to be different, because as a... I don't know, I'm just pulling this shit out of my ass. But I don't think there are too many more light novels to adapt, considering the first season adapted like probably 4 or 5 of them. And I don't think there are that many after that. I could be horribly mistaken. But the pacing's probably going to be slower this time around. And I think I almost remember someone saying that this season's only going to be 10 episodes long? Maybe that was a different show. I really hope it's more than 10 episodes long. I loved Date A Live, it was great. I know people still probably can't take me seriously when I say Date A Live was a great show, but look past your biases for the types of shows that usually do the things in the story. Let me reword that. Shows that normally use the story elements that Date A Live has are pretty bad. But Date A Live used the story elements it had pretty fucking well. So, at the very... I don't even know where I was going with that. It was good. I enjoyed it. Fuck all of you. I don't know where I'm going with any of this. I liked Date A Live. I'm excited for Date A Live 2. I hope it's more than 10 episodes. I'm ready for the shit. Moving on. We have Makaku City Actors, which is Shintaro Kisaragi, a hiki NEET, who shut himself inside his room for 2 years, had been living his life normally until he met a cyber girl named In, who appeared in his computer screen when someone anonymously sent him a mysterious email 1 year ago. One day, In messes with Shintaro's PC, which causes him to go outside for the first time in 2 years. That sounds fucking boring. It doesn't necessarily sound boring, it's just, I don't care. And I care even less when I see that this is based on music videos. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Only Shaft would take a bunch of music videos and make like some kind of weird story out of it. Maybe they are connected in the music videos, I don't know. But, just based off the synopsis, I really don't care. Like, at least something, even though I didn't care for it that much, at least Welcome to the NHK clearly had a purpose, and its synopsis would, you know, make that obvious. It's some kind of message about being neat. This is just like, this guy's a neat, and then the cyber girl fucks with his computer, and he went outside. And I'm just like, well, where does the story begin? So, yeah, there's that. And moving, wait, no, I should say, I'm probably not gonna watch it. Sorry. Okay, now moving on. We have Inugami-san to, wow, it really is Inugami-san. I thought I messed it up already. Inugami-san to Nekoyama-san. God damn it, Japanese titles. The story revolves around Suzu Nekoyama, a timid, shy tsundere girl who loves dogs. Whenever you use archetypes to describe your characters in a synopsis, that's bad news. Bad! To be fair, the synopsis may have been written by the chart makers, not necessarily the writer, author of the story, whatever. And the reason I probably need to explain why it's bad for an author to use archetypes in their synopsis. And it's because I sort of mentioned it in comments on my Toradora review, but archetypes are misleading, sort of. It's trying to force characters that sort of fit the requirements for an archetype into an archetype. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, people are like, hey, stop using boring archetype characters. But then people are fucking quick as shit to make archetypes and fit characters into established archetypes. It's like, you guys are the ones doing it, not the author. But at the same time, I don't even know what I said at the same time. My point is, when an author uses an archetype to describe their character, that's bad. The reason characters are good despite being able to fit into archetypes, because honestly, if you really try, you could fit any character into the closest fitting archetype or whatever. There are enough archetypes that nothing would ever be original anymore, because it would be enough for people to make the connection from character to archetype. Anyways, the point is that characters are interesting because beyond the basic actions that are required of their archetype, there's reasoning behind why they do that, or why they behave that way, or why they're doing it now, or whatever. I don't know. And when an author defines their character with an archetype, it feels like they wrote that character with the intent of just being that archetype and didn't put a whole lot of thought behind it. When they're like, I want a tsundere character, and so that's what they did. But anyways, I don't know what the fuck I'm even talking about right now, so I'm just gonna go back to Inugami-san to Nekoyama-san. I don't care. It could be another Yuri show for all I know, because that's a lot of girls on the cover. Fuck if I know. I'm not interested though, sorry. So moving on, we have M3's Sono Kuroki Hagane. And none of those words start with M, so much for M3. There is a distorted there's a distorted deep blackness everywhere. That place in which blackness swallowed everything and took away everything has become known as the Avidya. Avidya Zone? Avidya Zone. Strange beings assume the very form of the despair and chaos of humanity. They are known by this name, Imashime? An expedition surveys the Avidya Zone, which consumes human spirits. So when the intricate intersection between the present and impending crisis and the destiny of the past, can 8 boys and girls assemble to confront the Imashime, find the bright future that lies before the Avidya Zone. A bunch of teenagers have responsibility thrust on them to save the world. It's Evangelion! I'm just kidding. I don't know, it seems kind of interesting. I could give it 3 episodes to see if it sucks or not. I'd be willing to do that. Especially because there are a lot of shows I've already not given a shot to, so I have a little bit of free space in my give this a shot category. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. I'm so tired. Next we have Kantoku Fuyuki Todoki, which is weird. Kantoku Fuyuki Todoki Insufficient Direction is the first essay manga by the queen of the manga world, Miyoke Anno. Sugar Sugar Lane, or Sugar Sugar Rune, and Hadaraki Man. The comedic and heartwarming autobiographical story followed her everyday married otaku lifestyle with Hidekio Anno of Evangelion fame, the founder of the otaku cult. The tagline of the project is, "This Deep Path of Otaku." So this is something you probably want to watch if you like Evangelion or just Hideaki Anno's work in general, but most people only really know him for Evangelion. So if you like Evangelion, you should probably watch this. It's being done by DLE Inc., so it's just basically going to be a lot of low-budget flash animation. still decently amusing flash animation, but still pretty fucking low budget. It's gonna be pretty cool though. If you like Evangelion and you want to know stuff about Hideaki Anno because it's heartwarming autobiographical story based on being married to the guy. So there you go. Next we have some silly kids show, which is apparently 5th television anime series or whatever of a franchise. And I don't know about the franchise, so I'm not going to start watching it on like the 5th version or whatever. And finally, last, we have Monogatari series 2nd season, Hana Monogatari. You guys are never getting Kizu Monogatari and you're just going to have to deal with it. Shaft should literally just end this season with that, like, as a message on the screen. You're never getting Kizu Monogatari. Deal with it. I have not watched Bakemonogatari or Nisei Monogatari or, what is it, Nisei Monogatari Season 2? I don't know. I haven't watched any of them, and I don't care, so I'm not watching this. There's a lot of people that are probably going to watch this, but I'm not one of them, so good luck with that. Not really my thing. Because I didn't watch it. But anyways, that's the last show. Thank the Lord Jesus. I'm sorry. I'm just tired. And I really, I realized after going through this, I should not have recorded this when I was tired. I started off being not that tired and I was okay to do this, but there was just so many shows I had to go through that I just want to take a nap right now. And my throat is gonna like die. So there's not a whole lot for me to talk about. At this point, normally I would cover like OVAs or movies that I want to, you know, draw attention to that are kind of important or something. And I'm looking at the OVAs right now, but there's nothing really catching my attention. So I guess I don't really have to say anything OVA-wise in regards to, you know, watch out for this or watch out for that or, you know, whatever. You know, most of these are just like extra episodes for various shows, so it's whatever, man. There's that one unaired episode of Naokome, I guess, but no one cares about Naokome. I just thought it was kind of funny, so I'm going to watch it. And then there's that spin-off with Magi Sinbad no Bokuen, which is essentially Adventures of Sinbad, I believe. So I'll probably watch that, even though it's a weird chibi thing. Or it's probably not a chibi thing, it's just a weird miniature people thing. I don't know. Whatever. Movie-wise, various things are coming out in Japanese theaters. One, Kyoto Animation is doing Tamako Love Story, which is a movie version, or not movie version, but a movie set in the same setting as Tamako Market? I don't know. That's just what I think because it says Tamako Love Story. I actually didn't watch Tamako Market, so I can't recognize if this character on this little promo art or whatever is actually a character from, you know, Tamako Market or whatever. Oh my god, they're making a Sekai Ichi Hatsukoi movie. Fascinating. So I don't have much else to say. Movie guys, there's nothing to look out for here either. Sorry. That's it. I'm done. I can just go to sleep. The only thing I can say is that some point in April, the 3rd Madoka movie comes out. And for all I know, this video will be posted in April, so I pointlessly saying that. Yeah, I think it's like the 4th of April? I don't know. I think it's early April, but I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. But yeah, the 3rd Madoka movie comes out on Blu-ray. So if you've been waiting patiently to watch it, you've been waiting for the Blu-ray rip, so you can watch it in good quality. I don't advertise that kind of way to get them, but I'm just saying those are the things that are gonna be uploaded at some point. Sort of. You can finally watch the movie. So there you go. Because obviously you're going to buy and import the Blu-ray. Yes, exactly. When that Blu-ray release hits, I will start my review for the movie. Well, first I'm going to rewatch the movie, but, you know, it's just a movie, so it's not going to take all that long. But I'll be able to get my spoiler-filled movie review version out, so that'll be fun. But anyways, I am wasting way too much time talking about shit that's not even on this chart, and I'm gonna go now because it's already been like 2 fucking hours. I have been talking for 2 hours. My voice is fucking killing me. And I'm gonna go like pass out now. So, yeah. that's the season coming up and stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this season chart. Probably not. This is probably the worst season preview I've ever done because I'm tired. And like I said, I should not be recording these when I'm tired. I apologize again for doing this. I am deeply sorry, and I will get more sleep and more rest and plan this out better for next season so that there's not a repeat of this. So, without further ado, I am going to go and do things before my body starts rebelling against me. So, I'll see you guys in the next video.